Hello and welcome to another Carbonwurks tutorial. This time G8X series door mirrors. A very nice part, as you can see. There's two there. I'm holding the original. Didn't want to hold that. I wanted to hold this one. So full carbon, nice replicated, 3D printed, however they've done it. Plastic clips on the behind. Very straightforward fit. Nice short sharp video for you today. There is, however, one potential severe consequence, well, severe-ish. This bad boy here is your door mirror glass, which I've had to remove to get that original one off there. Now with the blind spot assist, this mirror glass comes in at £150. So if you break it, it's a bit of an expensive day out and a few years bad luck. So we'll avoid that one if we can. I've done one, hopefully the second goes the same way. Not too bad a job to do, as I've just said. Only a few tools required for this one as well. Firstly, a roll of masking tape. I'll explain why shortly. Torx 10 screwdriver or similar. And a trim tool. So that's basically all you need. Got a bit of rapid detailer, matte sealer there for the car, just to wipe down afterwards. So that's about the long and the short of it. The next step is for us to go over to the car and me to start showing you what's involved. So here we are at the car. This is the driver's side. I'll show you how it goes here. I've already stripped off the passenger side and it's exactly the same, just the other way around. So we'll focus on this side for now. First things first, don't be afraid to push the door mirror back to where it shouldn't go, because it's quite happy to do so, and then you can flip to return it afterwards. So first things first is your masking tape. Now I'm quite conscious of the fact that this black plastic that surrounds everything around the door mirror that we're working with marks quite easily and is quite difficult to polish out. So start with my low tack tape. I cover around as much of the aperture as possible, pushing the mirror glass itself in to get right into the edge to cover it up, just in case we come into contact when we're taking the glass out. And then also I cover the mount behind. But I'll get on and do that now. Tim will do a bit of video, maybe splicing a picture afterwards to show you how I've masked it all up. And at that point we'll be ready to pull the glass and then finally remove the cap. So as you can see, I've masked up everything. Tape all around the lower section of the glass itself, and then also on the mount at the back here, just because when we go to take the cap off that way, I don't want it to get caught and scuff the black. Basically, Dan's got an eagle eye for detail and it will get found. So first step is to remove said mirror glass. This is the mounting connection point here. This is the system how it works. You've got sort of 4 points where it clips in, 8 tags in total really. So that's what we're looking at. I'll put that down there out of the way. So my process for doing it, fortunately I've got reasonably skinny hands and skinny fingers. You can push the mirror glass all the way in at the innermost point, which then allows you to get behind it at the outermost point. And then by slowly applying pressure, and pulling on it, it should just pop off, which then leaves you at a point where you've got a number of electrical connections behind. So this one here is additional to the passenger side, or different. Just need some sort of trim tool or a little screwdriver to depress the tag on the plug connector, he says, and pull downwards. That releases that one. Same again on this white connector over here. There's a little tab that needs pushing in, which will then allow you to remove. There we are. So that's a push in and pull to remove. And then lastly, you've got these two connections, which are for the heating element. Again, I'm here using the fork trim tool just to get under the top side, gently tease away. Just be careful. This one seems to want to pull at the backing of the glass. So sometimes it's worth pushing down. It's a bit fiddly at this point, but pushing down on the back so it doesn't pull it away too much. Giving it a good wriggle. And hopefully it will release. And there we go. Eventually it's off and all in one piece. So now with the glass out of the way, all that's left is to remove the mirror cap itself. So I'll show you in here. It's going to be a bit difficult to see because everything's black, but basically what you're looking for is these two clipping points here. So like a forked section. This trim tool is quite handy. What I'm essentially going to do is from the rear of the mirror here, push this tool in, maybe twist it to spread them open a bit, which will in turn start to pop the mirror cap forwards. To in can follow me in. If you go into the mirror housing here, there's one located just up there and then another up on the top left just there. So that's what I'll be going for. Okay, so trusty trim tool into the clip point, twist to release, and then again on the second one, push and twist. What you might need to do is just try and get behind the edge of the mirror casing itself. It's a little bit tight, this one. So there you go, you can see it's just started to pop, at which point you're going to be able to get your trim tool in. Don't worry, it sounds worse than it is. What you might want to do at this point now is turn it around to the front. Again, using the trim tool where you've got it. And pulling forwards. Lastly, you've just got an electrical connection for the side indicator repeater. Again, I use my trusty trim tool for this. Just get the fork underneath it, pull it out towards the rear of the cap, and there you are. So as you can see, we've got old and new here off the car ready to go. There is one part of the mirror cap that you need to swap over to the new unit, and that is the side mirror indicator. Held in by 2 screws, Torx 10 as specified in the tool list at the beginning. So all that needs to do, unscrew those, push it inwards, so towards the innermost face. I'll show you in a minute once I've got this undone, and that should disengage, and then tuck the end out and away you go. Okay, so the screws are removed, and then now all you need to do is just pop the indicator unit out. So if you give it a pull from the inboard end where the plug connector goes, it should start to release the tabs. It tucks under here at the top. So pop that out, and then what you need to do is just unhook it from the end of the cover here. So it's the most delicate part of the cover really, both on the original unit and on the new one going on. So just take care over the end and then pull it out. And there we are. So that's one unit. Installation is obviously the reverse of the same process. So if I show you on this one, so with the mirror casing like that, if you insert the larger plug connector end like so, push that in as far as you can, that should then allow you to push it in, tuck it in, and then give it all a good push home. Once you've tucked it around the end of here, you can sort of pull it towards the outer edge of the mirror, which will allow everything to line up and you're ready to put your screws in. Quick check on the outside to make sure everything's located where it should be. A couple of screws and that should be good to go. Okay, so that's the mirror indicator swapped over. The new unit is ready to go on. So we'll walk you through putting it back on the car. The main area of sort of that's tricky, I guess, or can be tricky, is this bit here. So it's the lower sort of inner edge. You just need to make sure that when you install it, it wraps round and goes underneath this part here. And then once that's taken care of, the rest of it should just go straight on and you shouldn't have any problems. So first things first, before you end up with a slight issue and have to take it all apart, make sure you've plugged your mirror indicator back in. Give it a good push, make sure the wiring's all the way home. Then again, reverse of coming off, you just need to make sure you go on straight. And with that lower edge tucked round, you will hear it start to go on. And then the only other thing is there is a groove along this top edge, I'll show you on the other unit in a second, that needs to sit one side, either side of the ridge on the outer housing here. Yeah, give it a squeeze, it should go home with a nice positive click. Push it all the way around. But again, provided you've got it sat just right, these always install without a problem. So that's the mirror back, or mirror cap should I say, fitted. It's now just a case of putting the door mirror glass back on, removing the tape and giving it a quick wipe over, and that'll be us complete. So we're going to plug back in the mirror housing, or the mirror glass should I say. 2 connections there for the heating element. Auto dim connection here. A bit fiddly, just make sure you've got it the correct orientation for the locking clip to go in, which is facing outwards on the top here, you might just be able to see. So that's gone in. Again, listen for the click. And the last one, this is your blind spot indicator. So again, push in until you hear an audible click. In terms of installing, you just need to make sure you've got it lined up. And then push around. I always straighten out the mirror, and then from this side you can tell, just give it a good push with the flat of your palm and then your fingers to make sure it's all the way on there, because the last thing you want is for it to pop off on your way down the road. So I'll de-sticker it from the, well, remove the tape, give it a wipe down, and then yeah, we're ready for the outro. So I'm just completing the installation on the opposite side of the car, passenger side. Plug connector on the back of the mirror glass is a little bit different on this one. Just bring your attention to the diagram here, which shows you which way around the plug connector itself needs to be. So if you follow that, you can't go wrong, and everything will be back on in no time at all. And there we have it. As you can see, door mirror caps are installed, both sides now, if you really wish to look. Not much more to say really, it's all gone on. The only things to watch out for are marking the surrounding areas, and then the edge all the way around on the way back in, making sure that the groove slots over the ridge on the outside of the housing. Make sure your door mirror indicators are working, use the hazards, what have you, and that's a wrap. It is as simple as that. So thanks again for joining us on another Carbonwurks tutorial. Like, share, subscribe if you could, that would be much appreciated. There's a couple more to go on this car, so there is the opportunity to join us on more tutorials. We'll see you then.